What would you do if the very people who laughed at your simple life, mocked your clothes, and called you unworthy, went too far? Imagine standing in the middle of your high school prom, wearing a dress stitched with your mother's love, only to have it torn apart by bullies after you said no to someone who thought you'd be too scared to reject him. That night, the crowd expected a broken girl in tears. Instead, they witnessed something they would never forget. A roundhouse kick that shattered not only bones, but also the cruel arrogance that had been ruling the school. This is the story of Emily, the farm girl who turned humiliation into her greatest moment of strength. Emily had always been different from the rest of her classmates. While most of them came from wealthy families, arriving in school, parking lots with shiny new cars and expensive clothes, she came on an old tractor her father used on their struggling farm. Her hands often smelled of hay, and her nails bore the faint marks of hard work, but her heart was soft and proud of where she came from. Prom night was approaching, and for Emily, it was never about glittering lights or being crowned queen. For her, it was about one thing: wearing the dress her mother had stayed up nights sewing. A dress made from leftover fabric, but filled with love. When Emily finally tried it on, standing in front of the cracked mirror in her bedroom, she felt something she hadn't in a long time. Beautiful, in her own quiet way. But not everyone saw her that way. Dylan, the golden boy of the school, had always been cruel to Emily. He had money looks, and a cruel smile that made everyone else cheer for him, but made Emily's stomach twist. One day, out of arrogance more than interest, he asked Emily to prom. "Come with me, farm girl," he had said loudly in the cafeteria. "It'll be the charity act of the year." The cafeteria erupted in laughter. Emily, with trembling hands but steady eyes, said, "No, thank you." That rejection in front of everyone bruised Dylan's ego, and he was not the kind of boy to let it go. The night of the prom, the school gymnasium was alive with lights, music, and laughter. Emily walked in quietly, her head high despite the whispers that followed her. The dress her mother had sewn glowed under the lights, not because of diamonds or silk, but because of the spirit of a girl who dared to be different. But Dylan and his friends had other plans. As Emily stood near the punch table, trying to blend in, Dylan cornered her. His voice, dripping with mockery, echoed loud enough for everyone to hear. "Thought you could humiliate me and get away with it. Let's see how brave you are now." Before Emily could step back, one of his friends grabbed the edge of her dress. With one swift tug, the fabric tore. Laughter filled the room, cruel and piercing. Emily's face burned, her hands clutching the ripped fabric to her chest. The music stopped. The whispers grew louder. For a moment, everyone thought Emily would run, humiliated. But Emily didn't run. She stood still, her chest rising with heavy breaths, and something changed in her eyes. Something no one had ever seen before. The gym fell silent, waiting for Emily to cry, waiting for her to break. Instead, she let go of the torn fabric, her chin lifting. The humiliation that was meant to destroy her had awakened something fierce. Emily had been training quietly for months in the barn with her uncle, a retired martial artist. Few knew that when the farm chores ended, she spent her nights learning how to defend herself, how to channel anger into discipline, how to turn fear into strength. And now, with the crowd staring, the moment had come. Dylan smirked and took a step closer. "What are you going to do now, farm girl? Run back to your cows?" Emily didn't answer. Her body moved before her mind could even think. She spun, her leg cutting through the air with precision, and delivered a perfect roundhouse kick that landed squarely across Dylan's jaw. The sound cracked through the silence. Dylan stumbled back, collapsing to the floor, his arrogant smirk wiped clean. Gasps filled the room. Some screamed, some cheered. His friends, stunned, tried to step forward, but Emily's glare froze them. "Try me," she said firmly, her voice steady for the first time that night. No one moved. The girl they had mocked, humiliated, and dismissed had just shaken the very foundation of their school hierarchy. The whispers turned to awe. Phones were lifted, recording the moment that would spread far beyond those gym walls. Emily didn't need a crown, and she didn't need anyone's approval. She had something far greater: the strength to stand tall in the face of cruelty. Later that night, as she walked home barefoot with the remains of her dress in her hands, she didn't feel broken. She felt victorious. She knew her life would never be the same again. The lesson was clear. Not every rejection is a defeat, and not every bully holds the power they think they do. Sometimes, the quiet ones carry storms inside them, waiting for the moment to strike back, not with words, but with undeniable strength. And Emily, the farm girl, would forever be remembered for the night she turned pain into power and humiliation into triumph.